to our metal show that we do on Saturdays, 10 to midnight. Me and Corey Roddick and Pat Butler. Tomorrow's Earth Day, of course, and so we're doing a special all Earth Day. No, we're not doing that. But it is tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll have a couple of tracks there in honor of Earth Day.
I mean,
I don't know what that
there's
will
probably
mean.
Something in there's at least one song that has "Watch the World Burn" lyrics. So
right, yeah. So we'll probably do something along those lines. But tomorrow night, we are back at it. 10 to midnight, 2 hours to midnight is the name of the show. Me, Corey Roddick, Pat Butler. We're going to play classic Slayer by request. Some live music from Adrift. I keep saying live. Local. It's all live. Local music. Adrift on River Styx and Replicas are two of the local bands you'll be hearing from. We'll play Signs of the Swarm. I talk about these guys all the time, so I'll play them tomorrow night. Any requests you might have, if you are in a local band, you can submit your stuff to htm@wmms.com is the email. Hey, Chuck.
How you doing there, guys?
What's going on, Chuck?
Not too much. Wanted to chime in and shed some light on what you're talking about. Alan, you are almost 100% right, which is you always are
almost
right on everything.
95, 90.
I'd say 98.
98. Hey, that's all right.
It's a pretty good percentage.
I'll take it.
Yeah, when we do a DoorDash, they give us a bag. I'm on speakerphone. Does that interfere with anything?
I can hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah, but it's not. It's like a grocery bag, the reusable bags, but it's got like an insulation in there.
Yeah.
And it's not very good. We end up going out and buying stuff from.
It's not very good, he says.
So you'll buy your own bag just so that the food you deliver is better, which probably leads to better tips.
Exactly, because
right.
we have catering bags and stuff like that. And
how much does one of those go for?
I think about 24, 26, 28, something like around there.
You got to get that from like a restaurant supply shop, or you can just get that somewhere else?
Probably Amazon, right?
Amazon, baby.
Yeah.
Amazon,
okay.
baby.
Gotcha.
But the only thing that a lot of us complain about is like if you get a double order, they call it a stack order. Okay, let's say we go to Crocker Park, we pick up a cheesecake order.
Yeah.
And then we head over to another place in Crocker Park. I'm not going to mention any names. And you're waiting and you're waiting. And meanwhile, the food's starting to turn warm.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I mean,
that's what they get for not paying for the extra $3 to get it, delivered straight to them. You're always at risk for a stack order if you don't pay that extra $3 or whatever it is.
Yeah, but then Chuck's the guy that gets yelled at.
It doesn't work like that. I wish it did, but you have a set amount that you collect, okay? So a good order is like, say, $7 for 4 miles away. That's what's mostly taken by people. Mm-hmm. If you're giving a driver $5.50 and you're sending them all the way out to Sheffield, guess who's not eating?
What, you're not going to get your food? Is that what it is?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate the clarification. All right. Well, yeah.
Now we got to decide what's for dinner tonight. We talked about a lot of food delivery. Now I'm got dinner on the mind.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, that's something to think about. You go across the street to Marble Room after the show.
Just go home and just whip together a quick beef Wellington.
What is in a beef Wellington, by the way? And is it the only kind of Wellington?
It's, you could probably make you could probably make a chicken Wellington. You could probably make a ham Wellington. But a beef Wellington is like a round steak or like a London broil type steak.
Okay.
And then it's got a flaky crust around it.
Okay.
Buttery, flaky crust.
Like it's in a puff pastry, or
Yeah.
you put a thing on it. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't coat it. You put it in a wow.
No. You put it in and you cook it with that, and it like cooks in that pastry.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like it's the fanciest hot pocket.
So is it similar to what's the chicken thing with the cheese and the
chicken cordon bleu.
chicken cordon bleu?
It's a little bit similar to that, but that's just breaded. Like they stuff the cheese and the ham into that, and then they will bread it and just fry it up. This is like you have to bake. So I think the way a lot of people do it is they'll get a sear on the steak and then wrap it in the pastry and then let it like slow cook in the oven.
Okay. So it's a time-consuming thing to make.
Right, which is the whole joke about just a quick little beef Wellington.
Gotcha. A buddy of mine that used to run radio stations in Detroit, I think he's with satellite radio now. His name's Dave Wellington. We always called him Beef.
Hey.
But I didn't know what beef Wellington was, and I'm sure I've never had it. But it sounds good. I'm not a big meat in pastry guy, but it sounds good.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's like the ultimate hot pocket.
And it's probably expensive because it's an expensive cut. I would imagine. Like, is beef Wellington something that's on like a restaurant menu?
Like fancier restaurants.
Okay.
But it's also kind of old-fashioned. I don't think there are a lot of restaurants doing beef Wellington anymore.
The last time I had beef Wellington, I think the only time I had beef Wellington was a couple years ago when I celebrated New Year's Eve with Erica in the at the 9.
Yeah.
In the basement down there. They had this whole spread, and they were like, beef Wellington? I said, well, don't mind if I do.
Oh, so you had it. Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. It was real good.
So it's
And
probably
I'm real picky, and
So
I
I
don't eat
bet
fancy food.
Marble Room does it. It's probably steakhouses that do beef Wellington.
Probably.
Like if I go to, when I first came to Cleveland.
But even then, I feel like it's still pretty rare.
Good pun.
Yeah.
When I first came to Cleveland to meet with the Muckety Mucks about possibly coming to WMMS, they took me to Morton's, I think. And I bet they have a beef Wellington over there.
Yeah, I would believe that.
Oh, boy. So you're going to go home, whip up a beef Wellington.
Just a quick little beef Wellington.
Yep, and then sit there, watch some TV, and eat your beef Wellington.
Watch the Cavs and enjoy my puff pastry and beef.
So if it's an old-timey dish, then it's probably the old people's restaurants that have them. Like out by me, there's a place called White Oaks.
Yeah,
where the median age is like 102.
White Oaks, I think, would probably
I've been
have
there
one.
before.
Yeah.
Pure W probably does it. The median age there is like 102.
And it's something that I feel like it's not something they do all the time. It'll be like, oh, this is our special, we do it at a certain time of year, or we'll do like a special beef Wellington, or like, because it is a larger, it's almost like a roast.
Right.
So
it's not like a beef stroganoff.
Yeah.
It's a Wellington.
And all those places do beef stroganoff as well. It's very fancy. It's
old-timey
It's the
fancy.
fanciest of stroganoffs.
If you've ever had a shrimp stroganoff, steer clear of that, because a lot of things can go wrong in the making of it, but the beef stroganoff is delicious.
It's pretty good.
Right. When I was a kid, of course, one of my favorite jokes was, what do you call a masturbating cow?
What?
Beef stroganoff.
I should have got that considering we were just talking about stroganoff.
So, yeah. Okay. Well, then maybe that's something that I'll try one of these days. Next time we're at a steakhouse, I'll go, bring me the beef Wellington, my good man. Oh, Jeeves.
My good man.
Right, my good man. Or, young lady, bring me your finest beef Wellington. And a dark red to pair with it.
Rob Anthony is saying it's a beef tenderloin.
A beef, what is he, beef Wellington expert?
Apparently.
All right.
He's from
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, and I feel like there's probably more English cuisine out there, because it is English.
All right. Because they landed there first?
Mm-hmm.
When the Mayflower landed in
We didn't
Providence?
land on beef Wellington. Beef Wellington landed on us!
Wow. All right. Well, maybe I'll have it for Earth Day tomorrow. It sounds like it could be a potentially earthy dish. Would you want a 108-year-old man to be your firefighter?
Yeah.
He's willing to sacrifice himself?
Vincent Dransfield lives in Little Falls, New Jersey. We have a lot of bureau chiefs out in New Jersey, and he is a 108-year-old volunteer firefighter.
That's hilarious.
Right? 108, this guy. Let's meet Vincent here.
Life on his own terms. And that's not something many 108-year-old people can say. He leased a car 2 years ago and is still driving in more ways than one.
I'm still driving. Everybody crazy.
He looks pretty good for 108, doesn't he? I mean, it's hard to tell because you just start to look like a melted candle.
Yeah, not bad.
For 108?
I would have guessed 92.
You know, Vincent, you know, like a day over 92. Yeah. This guy's still driving. Man.
And what kind of car do you drive?
4 wheels.
Vincent.
I like how he can't remember. I leased it 2 years ago, and I can't remember what kind of car I drive. What kind of car do you drive, sir? And how many wheels does it have?
3 wheels.
Still sharp and quick-witted.
I like to have a sense of humor. It's good. It gets you somewhere. If you're nasty and angry, you ain't going nowhere.
He's also the oldest firefighter at the Little Falls Volunteer Fire Department. Not as active as he once was, he's still on the roster at Engine Company 3.
Oh, he's a long-time firefighter. So this isn't a recent development. They showed an old a newspaper clip of him, and he was like the fire chief back in the day. He's still on the wall here.
He got demoted.
Vince, you're 105, my man. We can't have you be fire chief anymore. You're getting up too many times in the middle of the night to pee. We can't count on you to come down the pole anymore. Even the Dalmatians won't work with you.
And I said, when I grow up, I'm going to be a fireman. So I became a fireman.
His contributions and pictures from the last 84 years with the department are plastered on the fire.
Look at that. There's a thing that says, on your 100th birthday in 2014, they dedicated the engine bay to him. So he probably, they did this because they're like, oh, he's only got a couple of years left. Isn't this great that he hung on? Nope, 8 years later. Imagine you see this guy coming up the ladder to save your cat.
House walls.
Hello, Wall. How's Wall? That's the helmet I used to wear when I was fire chief. It's an original helmet.
He's also
Imagine if you have a kid who's like 80, right? He's 108.
Right.
You know, this is my son. He's 80.
He's 80, yeah. I mean, who better to have fight the fires than someone that was there when it was invented?
Right, when they had to pass water buckets to each other.
Right.
These days, we have fancy hoses.
I remember the first time they rubbed those 2 sticks together.
And pressurized water. Oh, it's the glory days of fighting fires.
Proud great-grandfather.
It's a lot of fun. Every single time he tells jokes, he tells stories, just like stuff that you wouldn't think that he would remember.
Does he have
He's
a mullet?
remembering back to like
No, I don't think
when
so.
he was 30.
He's a great-grandson,
like
and he's in college, this kid. Wow.
It's just crazy to think that he can remember all these stories, and they're awesome.
Vincent is also independent. He lives on
He
his
just can't remember what kind of car he drives. It's got how many wheels? It's
2 wheels.
This just reminds me of the South Park episode where everyone ends up at Cracker Barrel and they're trying to take the senior citizens licenses away.
I mean, my grandma lived to almost 103, and she voluntarily gave up her license when she was like in her late 80s.
It's like,
was
'cause
a
why would you want
firefighter.
to?
She wasn't. Yeah, she was tired of being a firefighter.
She didn't have any work to do. She wasn't trying to keep people
does
safe.
his own grocery shopping and doesn't take daily medications. Just over the
My
counter.
grandma was a lifelong churchgoer and a Catholic in good standing, Bill. She was trying to keep people safe from the ravages of Satan. This guy's
Then
trying
she
to
should
save.
have stopped being Catholic.
This guy's trying to save people from one kind of fire. My dear departed grandma was trying to save people from another kind of fire. Eternal hellfire.
Counter meds when he has some knee pain.
He has his, daily routine. He gets up with the train, right? Pop?
Jesus, the granddaughter's like 50. Wow.
Of course.
You get up with the train every morning at the same time. He goes to the Quick Check in Little Falls and gets his coffee and paper.
So what
Good
is
for him,
his
though.
secret to
Yes.
longevity?
I drink Ovaltine every day.
A sweet treat for a sweet man.
Every day I drink Ovaltine.
day I drink
It's the one thing that keeps me regular. He's still driving.
I still get boners, too. The Ovaltine keeps me hard.
Imagine this guy gets pulled over. Can I see your license, sir? Oh, it says here you were born in 19... Whatever.
Do that math.
What's the math on that?
Proving that age is nothing but a number. And Vincent turns 109 in March, and all he wants for his birthday is for his family to come over and spend time with him, which they plan on doing.
So wait, is he 109 now?
He's 109 now,
Yeah.
right? So this was, I thought this was brand new. Okay, end of January. So he's 109 now. He was born in 1914.
You can't make any long-term plans with this dude. Like, see you at well, we'll just see. Like, we'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, right. He's halfway through a lease.
I would just like go in and apply for all the credit cards, everything. I'm like, I ain't never got to pay this back.
They're
I
like,
paid
what?
my debt to society.
What do you drive? My family crazy. Wow.
3 wheels.
For those of you who weren't able to see it on the live stream, he drives a Ford Taurus.
Oh, okay.
I will end everything with, if I make it that long. Hey, you want to go shopping Sunday? If I make it that long. Like, everything just, do you want this plate of food?
They call, they're like, hey, there's a fire. He's like, I'll see you in a few minutes if I make it that long.
Yeah, exactly. Everything, I have an excuse for everything. I'm not doing nothing.
But what's it just made the rounds the other day. The old woman, Flossie. Remember Flossie Dickey?
Mm-hmm.
She was 110. And they're trying to do one of those local news interviews, and she wants nothing to do with it. And the lady's the reporter is just trying. This was Fox 28 Spokane, trying to get a conversation going with this one. The woman's like, hey, Hoopy Day, kill me.
She's all I do is drink Dr. Pepper every day.
Hair Center, and I am sitting next to the woman on the front page of the Spokesman Review this morning. This is Flossie Dickey, and check it out, folks. We got
Well, you don't meet a lot of Flossies anymore.
her very own Good Day Spokane
She looks
coffee
so
mug.
annoyed.
She is enjoying some coffee
Doesn't know where
this
she
morning
is.
because, Flossie, you say you're a little tired this morning. Is that right?
I am tired.
She is very tired. That's actually, I heard, your favorite activity to do
I love that so
at the
much.
center
I
here
am
is to
tired.
take a little nap.
Take a nap many times as I can.
As many times as she can.
Holy
She
cow, this woman was like 85 when the reporter was born. Oh.
likes to take a nap. Flossie has 3 children. You have 12 grandchildren, 20 great-grandchildren, and 15 great-great-grandchildren.
What kind of car do you drive, Flossie?
And
I mean, this woman, to Vincent's credit, this woman, who's probably dead now, I don't know how old this is a year older than Vincent. He's driving. He's a volunteer firefighter. You got to take care of yourself, boy.
You know, having things to do keeps you moving.
Yes.
Gives you purpose.
Yep.
He's not on any medication.
Right.
That dude rules.
Yeah.
Flossie, head on out, lady.
Flossie's mossy.
You're
Jeez.
done. Yeah, Flossie
sound like
is
a
mossy.
very busy lady.
Drink some Ovaltine. Get out of here.
Yes.
They got her holding the dumb Good Morning Spokane mug.
She has lived in multiple places in the Northwest, even lived in Arizona. She's originally from Oregon. That's where she was born. And Flossie,
on the Oregon Trail is where
Maureen,
she
we
was.
also have some
She's the lone
flowers
survivor.
Yeah.
that we would like to give you.
She
She
survived
got her
dysentery.
nails done. I don't know if you can see, but they're a beautiful pink. Pink and purple, we heard, were your favorite colors. So I'm just going to set
Lost her
those
virginity in a
on your
covered
lap
wagon.
for you. Yeah. And
Like napping.
I'll hold them. How about that? So that they stay. Later today, Flossie's family is going to be coming out here to throw you a big birthday party. Are you excited for your party?
Not one bit.
This reporter is doing all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Oh, good for her.
Not one.
Not one bit. Someone murder me now. Kill me.
Take me back to Oregon where assisted suicide is legal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
These are people who back in the day would have been like the lead guest on Johnny Carson. I have a potato chip that looks like Chester Arthur.
One of our customers posted a picture of a guy that fell off his buddy fell off a motorcycle and had road rash.
Yeah.
And it looked like a silhouette of Trump. It was pretty funny. I'll put it up on my Instagram
There
story
you go.
again.
Not one bit.
Ovaltine, they should call it Roundtine. All right, let me break. I will have those passes for you for the Gilmore Project. If you're a Pink Floyd fan, it's kind of a super group. A bunch of dudes from other bands are going back out on the road. to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Dark Side of the Moon. And they're coming to play Cleveland. So it'll be the Gilmore Project at MGM Northfield Park on May the 14th. We'll do that coming back. Another $1,000 in about 20 minutes, too. Listen for that next keyword to get $1,000 from the Buzzard bookie right around 5:30.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio.